black. Let's see. I'll use that fine brush, that Humbrol #1, Coloro. And we'll start the first shading on the horse. It's going to be done in blue. Yes, believe it or not, I like cold shadows on fur and mane and all that sort of thing. It enhances the redness, the carnations. There is a dark sea blue. I will use it in conjunction with the sort of base color mix here, the red and leather brown mix. There. You see, it looks quite natural actually. I will dilute it and until it has the consistency of water, milk, you know, that sort of thing. Not whole milk, skimmed milk. And there we go. Let's start with the horse's ass. I am putting some more water on my brush so that it blends a little more. I'll put some more color here, but then it will require, I think, several coats. Do the tail. The tail should be darker, so I'll put a little more color on there. Also, it has more relief. Yes, that's quite fine. Okay, so let's pay attention to the lighting now. This should be in shadows. This part here as well. In between the legs, there I think that should be more shaded behind the leg here. Same thing on the other side. Oh, that's a bit too much, but never mind. There. Here, right underneath the horse's ass. Should be shaded perhaps, yes. Right, then horse's flanks. This leg is, well, it should be shaded as well. Get something a little more subdued going. Okay, now for my next trick, let's do the head. And this weird little muscle that the horses have at their front. Okay. There's a little crease here that I want to enhance. I've put too much paint on it, but never mind. We'll correct that during the highlighting phase. I'll put some more blue on my brush so I can do the mane here. There, I think just underneath the neck needs some darkness. And I'll do the horse's mouth. And perhaps a little more here on his face. Yes. Well, her face. Sorry. Not everywhere, but in some places. Here, let's have some more shadows. Because there's a muscle here that needs to be delineated. Let's have some more shadow here underneath the leg, in the nether regions of our mare. Yes, let's have some shading here. In front of the horse, in the shadow of his face. I'll try to enhance the sculpt as much as I can. There. I think the muzzle of the horses are always a little darker, so well, I'll do that. I am trying to enhance the muscles of the horse and show how powerful an animal it is. I am, you know, I'm doing the only thing that I know, which is basically Napoleonic French painting and Italian Renaissance painting, because it is quite rare for me to see a horse in nature. I'm just city people, you know. That said, I have documented myself, and so should you. Still, I think the painting style suits the miniature very much. It's all hieratic and all that. There, let's put some more of the blue here underneath. See how the blue really contrasts and makes everything pop? Granted, it's a dark blue, almost black, but still. it's blue. The hairs often seem darker at the end of the horse's tail. That I know. I'll get some more of that blue, and I will here have this shaded, these little buckles underneath here. I'll get some of the base color for my horse and some blue, and I will shade this part because it should be darker. Oh yes, definitely. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Here. That's not too bad. Okay, now I'll grab some of this mix. It's red plus leather brown, but I will add some more elf skin tone to it and do something close to my base color, but a little lighter. Just a tad lighter. And then, with very dilute paint, I will start highlighting the horse. I think it needs some more elf skin tone. There. I am pointing, I'm doing little dots of light, if you will, wherever the light falls, or the light should be, or daubs of light in the case of the horse's ass, because that's what's needed. Actually, I'll grab some of the base color here and try and blend things in a little better. There. And here perhaps. Oh, I think this requires a little blue. Here, just at the root of the tail. And a little more shading with the blue here to enhance the shape of the flowy tail. There. Perfect. Now on with the highlighting. That little muscle here that Delacroix could never get right. Mix it in with some blue to blend it right here. We really want to blend it and not shock the eye. Let's get this a little lighter. Same thing here with the tendons and sinews. I'm going back and forth between the base color and the highlight color. Don't know if you can notice really, but yeah, let's highlight this part, this face of the horse and the ear. Let's get some more light on there. I used elf skin tone because it's a yellowish skin tone for some reason. It's more bronzed perhaps. Ah yes, this needs highlighting badly. There. Actually this needs more elf skin tone on top here. So that's what I'll do. That's what I'll put here. Pure elf skin tone, but dilute so that it blends with the rest. Do the same thing here. And here, actually. Let's mix it in to blend it with the rest of the horse. There. What a beautiful animal. Working on a horse really makes you realize that this is the perfect training for muscles and beasts and the like. You've really got to try to make it alive, if you will. And that's difficult and engaging for a painter. Oh, that's a mess. Let's add some more water. There. Perhaps a little more clarity here. Not too much though, it's all right. Alright, we'll get some more of the elf skin tone and perhaps do a little more highlighting on the back of the horse. The legs, the bottom of the legs shouldn't be as highlighted as the rest, I think. To unify the horse, I think I will have a wash of the base color in many places. Mainly to blend all the colors in. So that it, well, so that it blends better, really. Yes, better. Now to highlight the mane, we'll need some ivory. Ivory from Vallejo, which is to say Menoth White Highlight from P3. All white with a smudge of yellow and red in it. We'll put some ivory in my shading mix with the blue and the brown, and it will create some sort of brownish grey. That's the color we're looking for. And slightly dilute. We'll use that basically to highlight our all the little hair. It tints very well. Yes. So we only want to tint it for now, at least the edges. This will prove more difficult. Yes. Trickier. Terribly sorry, you can't really see what I'm doing here, but basically I'm having some sort of a wash on the edges of the mane to tint it back to a subdued grayish color. Right. And I think the muzzle of the horse deserves also a little grey on the edge. Here. Now I will put more ivory in my mix so as to obtain a light grey, and this will do fine for some more highlighting here. There. Perhaps slightly darker, but not too much. You see it's still chestnut, but the hairs are darker. Have a wash of the blue color. I said wash, not a daub. There. And here. No. That is quite nice. Here, where the details are completely soft, I will try and simulate some hair, but don't know if I'll succeed at that. Perhaps with the blue I will be more lucky. There. Yes. Quite interesting. Lovely girl. There you are. Oh dear. Bit of dust on my brush, never mind. Yes, we still have chestnut overtones, so that's all right. Now, I'll get some pure dark sea blue, and there you'll have the eyes of our horse. There. And there. Horses' eyes are so wide, they don't need, they're all pupil really. With the blue I will also put a few shades here. And here as well. Yeah. This isn't too interesting. Yes. The horse needs some more detail to make it a true chestnut horse. It needs something on its, a little star on its forehead, I guess. Not a star, but some kind of a spot. I am doing it in ivory because it's so warmer than pure white. Usually it's more blonde than white, really. This is only the first coat for that. Oh, and let's have one of his legs here in white as well. I'll use a more dilute white, dilute ivory, I'm sorry, for now. Slightly dilute. There we are. We'll touch it up later on. We'll put a little glint of a reflection in the horse's eyes to breathe life into him. There. We'll have to wait for this little baby to dry. Until it does, I think we should highlight some of the the rest of the little tassels and whatnot. We'll do that in Amarillo Lunar. Basically, it's Bad Moon Yellow, but from Vallejo instead of Citadel. That's a neat yellow, perhaps a bit thin, but then all yellows often are. I'll get some ivory and mix it in with that yellow to give it more consistency. See? That's almost lemon in color. I'll dilute it a bit, not too much, it doesn't need much dilution, but there we go. And then we'll do some highlighting here. At this point, this is only basic highlighting. We don't need to be fancy. This little scarf thing also should be highlighted. This does take a little bit of minutiae. Oh dear, overstepped on the horse. There we are. I don't need to highlight the front as much, but which is just as well because it's not very well delineated, but we'll do it anyway. More highlighting here, I think. And here. Well, really one can only do so much with these tassels. I'm basically having to paint some details that are not there. Or that are barely noticeable on the sculpt. There. Now on to the bridle. The bridle will be different slightly. We'll use the base color for all of this, and instead of using yellow, we won't use yellow, we'll use directly the ivory. It will be much more leathery. There, that's the beige we're looking for. There I have to be a little careful, because the bridle is really not delineated. So I'm having to basically paint it over a blank canvas. But it's a good exercise. Sometimes the minis are like that. Really, it's all right. I'll get some dark sea blue. You'll see what I'll use. I'll get some of the dark sea blue and the more of the ivory, perhaps. And this is a nice grey. I'll use that for if my brush is willing to have a point. I'll use that for the buckles here. Oh, I think that should be, yes, that should be it. Oh, I forgot those little tassels that I wanted to do in yellow as well. There you are. Actually, I think I'll put some more yellow in here. There. It tints beautifully. This part doesn't really need highlighting, I don't think. Don't think so, at least. This is basically a glaze of yellow, so that it's more vivid altogether, these parts. You know, perhaps I'll just have a little bit of the ivory and yellow mix and do here this little gallon, but not so it's too shocking. There. Dear. Overstepping everywhere. Never mind. Let's have a little bit of shading again. Otherwise it won't be proper. Shading with the horse's base color, mainly. As a wash. There. Ooh, that's a bit much. There. There we are. And perhaps here a little bit. With a lot of water to blend it out. There. Does anything else need some shading? I think so. Perhaps these buckles in blue. Just so it's a bit contrasted. Perhaps the back of those again. Well, no, I don't. Well, some of it, but not everywhere, strangely enough. Just at the heart of them. Right. Now our horse has hooves, and we will do them in the same shading color, grayish. That we used for the mane. It's just about harmony, really. I don't know what. I mean, the hooves could be brown, you know, for all we care. But this definitely blends with the color we've been painting the horse generally. Actually, the bottom of the legs need a little more shading. Including this one, except we'll be a little lighter with it, with the blue. There. And this needs a little more highlighting, perhaps, with ivory. Just on the edges and on top, mainly. It's better when it's fresh. Yeah. You can have as many white legs as you want. I'm only having one because I like it like that, but I think it's very rare if a horse doesn't have one, at least if a chestnut horse doesn't have at least one of these legs white. Yeah. I think our horse is done. Now, I'll be back later for the horseman. Bye then.